Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr. Darya Ghafourpour once again for an evening of Friday Night Live, and I'm super happy that you're joining me here tonight. It's been another interesting week. I feel like I keep starting things out that way, just saying, wow, what an interesting week or a long week, but you know, I'm titling this on staying positive despite the evidence showing otherwise, because I find that super important. We can convince ourselves that things aren't going well, but when we open up our minds to things going well, so it's like we're convincing ourselves of that, we're showing ourselves a different way of viewing our world, then we start finding evidence of things going positively. So I know that I've spoken about variations of this theme in the past, and I just want to reinforce the importance of that. Hi, Kevin. Oh, you gave me like 4 thumbs up, right on. I'm so glad you're here. Nice to see you. Kevin's a great friend. He's a pharmacist back east, and he's really big on staying positive too, and he wants to help his patients in that respect and help families with kids who have ADD, and he's just really out there to show positivity and support to people so that they know that there's another way of being. You know, they don't have to be daunted. So Kevin's an example of that. You should check him out. You can probably click on Kevin's face or his thumbs up that he liked it, and you can find out more about him. So, and someone's giving me a heart, and I don't know who you are. But I'm glad you're here. Say hi, or let me know. Leave me a comment. That will be nice. So yeah, I'm talking about kind of being in the spirit of positivity, and a lot of times I'll meet with people and they'll say, yes, so my patients will come in and they'll comment, they'll say, wow, you're always smiling. And I'll go, well, yeah, you know, it's like, I'm happy to see you. And it's real for me. You know, each person that I'm meeting with, I'm happy to see them. And it's not because I had to trick myself into feeling happy to see them. It's because I genuinely feel that way to be in their presence. And what I know is that there's going to be a different level of engagement. My whole world is just about to shift because I'm interacting with someone different, and I like that. I appreciate that. I enjoy that. And that's part of what makes life fun for me. And sometimes things can feel challenging, and sometimes work can be hard work. Sometimes, you know, it seems like the ducks aren't all in a row the way that you want them to. Oh, I just thought about that expression. That's an awful expression now I think about it. Why would you want ducks to be in a row? Okay, scratch that. But, you know, if things aren't lining up the way that you think that they should be, don't let yourself believe that that means that things are going bad. Because the moment that you talk yourself into going, well, okay, that just means things are different now, then the door opens for something great to happen and for something for you to feel good about. Because when we decide that things aren't going well, that they're hard, that they're stressful, that I'm tired, I'm dying, oh my God, I'm dying, whether it's figuratively or in a real way, you're reinforcing that, either that reality or that hypothetical situation that's negative on yourself. So when you can shift that around, you're going to watch things change. And this will happen with me. I might feel really tired, let's say, from doing a procedure, and I have to keep kind of cheering myself on, because I don't want my patient to be feeling that from me. I want them to have as good of an experience as possible. And so if I can start just talking to myself in a different way, or start humming that song that I like that's playing on the radio, or listening to someone else laughing down the hall, it brightens up my day and it brightens up my spirit. And now I'm just convincing myself that things are okay and they're fine, and it's okay if something is a challenge. Oh well, that's life, you know, we're here to meet the challenge. And that's a nicer way of approaching things for me than just like, oh, I am so exhausted, I can't take one more step, I can't stand this, I can't stand that. Like those are negative phrases that we tell ourselves, and as we talk to ourselves in that way, we're steering ourselves in the direction of having more that we can't stand. That, you know, that I feel like I'm dying, oh gosh, you know, that one more time that situation is coming up. And to be honest, that can happen quite literally too. Like if you are constantly telling yourself you can't stand something, It's entirely possible, and I believe this, and I've seen situations actually where I wonder, someone has an issue with their legs or their back and they're not able to stand so well. Could there be something going on in their life where they keep telling themselves their entire life, I can't stand this, I can't stand this person, I can't stand when people do this, I can't stand, right? So be careful what your thoughts are, because your body will respond physiologically too. And so even though things might look like they're not going great, when you can shift your perspective around and decide that things are going well, you'll have so much more fun. And I've been having a lot of fun at work, and you know, it's been a little bit hard being on a skeleton crew, and I have my treatment coordinator / RDA who's awesome, and she's just got such a great spirit about her of like, we can do it. And then that I feed off of that. Yeah, we can do it. You know, if it's just going to be the two of us for a little bit. And we do. We pull it together. Everybody gets taken care of. Maybe somebody has to wait a little bit longer. And generally people are really, really great if that's the situation and understanding. And if I get a sense that maybe they're not, I'm going to see what can I do that's even extra for them, you know, just to help them feel better about whatever it is that they're going through internally. And it's like if we can just give in a spirit of like in a high spirit, as opposed to giving because I have to or giving because I should, it feeds our own soul, and it helps you feel good. And you don't always know how other people receive that. And I'll give you an example of that. I saw a patient this week who's just the sweetest thing in the world, and I love this woman. And she was, admittedly, you know, she had seen financials that we had presented to her, we had talked about a long time ago, and then recently, but it just didn't compute in her mind, and that happens with people. And so she acknowledged that, oh yeah, you know, I knew that we had talked about this, but she hadn't actually prepared herself financially, and I could just feel just her genuine good nature, you know, and she was stressed, and she was wanting to shift what procedures we were going to do because of that financial stress. And that could have looked like a real negative situation. That could have been evidence of negativity on her end and on my end. From her end, I don't even want to go into what she might be thinking, because I don't want to start feeding that energy. On my end, you know, if I were a practitioner who were just really looking at numbers, and I'd go, oh my God, but we set aside this time, and that's time is money, and it's costed this and that, that would wreck me. And that would be very stressful. And I felt like a blip of a thought like that, and I just went, whoa, 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 whoa. And I just went like, let's get back with the person that you're with. And I love this person. And it was very easy then for me to just feel like everything is good, everything is all right. And she felt that from me, and we just talked about it. And she didn't realize that we could be flexible in other ways that were totally fine and acceptable to me. And to her, she felt such appreciation that, you know, it's okay if she paid part of it today and part of it another day. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I have this trust in her. There are some people that you have, it doesn't always turn out that way. And then you start learning your lesson. But, okay, I can't, in this respect, I can't trust that this person is going to behave in a certain way, and then you just shift your own behavior. You shift how you do things. It doesn't mean you're judging one way or another. You're just shifting things so that it feels better for you. So when things feel good for you, then you're on a positive direction, as opposed to seeing negative evidence. When you help things feel good for you, then that helps point you in the direction of positivity. I'm just cracking myself up at how I just go and go and go on and on and on. If you have any comments, you know, feel free to let me know what your train of thought is, because I just feel like I'm just going off and woo, woo, woo. But it's important, it's relevant stuff. And so with this situation that I was sharing about with this patient, and I was thanking her for being there, and I was thanking her for just her patience with it and her understanding. And I think she was surprised that I was thanking her, because she saw it in the other way, like, wow, my dentist is being compassionate, and I know that we're embarking on something that puts me in a certain financial situation, and she's being patient about that and allowing for it. And so for her, that was generosity, and for her, she was super appreciative. So it was like a win all the way around. You know, I could feel good about what I was doing with her. I knew I was giving her a good service, and she felt relief. And you know, she didn't even wait for the week to be done, you know, per our agreement, and she showed up at the end of the day, you know, today, for that purpose, you know, to pay the rest of the bill, you know. And it's just like, gosh, that so just that genuine feeling of gratitude, I could feel that from her, and I believe she feels that from us too, because it could have gone in so many other directions, right? But just being open to things being okay. So both of us could have gone through a trend of like, oh, this is awful, it's stressful, it's awkward, I don't know what to do about this, and yet we were able to come together with very, very little effort in a comforting way that felt agreeable and good in order to move forward. And so that's one example. I think another example is I've got this awesome group that I'm part of, and in fact Kevin is part of that group too. And I was really feeling strung out a couple of days ago, like completely exhausted, and part of it is that I hadn't slept enough, I think, and part of it just had to do with diet. I still was trying to work off some sugar in my system. So I admit that, and it affects me, and it probably affects most people who are eating sugar in one way or another. And so happy to say I've been really good about letting that go, and I feel a lot better. So that's part of it too. And another part of it has to do with other people's frequency and other people's energy. And I had started that day or the day before with a very, very intense situation with an intense personality, but someone who's facing very severe medical issues. And when you're in someone's presence who's going through a lot like that, their world may be completely different from your world, and what you're trying to do is find an intersection where there's common ground, and sometimes that can be challenging, and it was challenging for me, and I did my best, and I feel like I did right, and I feel like I did well, but I was exhausted from it, and it was really hard for me to get through the rest of the day and everything else, and my body was like this, you know, and it just took me time to get myself to relax. And this group that I'm a part of was just so great. They just listened, you know, and sometimes I just need to, like anybody, need to just speak what's going on, and then and I'll find encouragement all around me, like just breathe into it, just take a breath, just know that everything is okay. And I know everything is okay, but it's really helpful when other people can tell you that and remind you that. And so I hope that I'm serving you in that aspect, in that respect at this moment. And maybe I don't know you. You know, maybe you're finding me on YouTube, or you happened to cross me on Facebook, a friend of a friend of a friend, who knows? Maybe we don't even know each other, but you're watching me speak to you in this way for a reason, and it could very well be to remind you to be kind to yourself and to know that everything is going to work out, and that even though you think that everything is looking dark and negative around you, and you might think, I'm dying, and that could literally be true in some ways, you can shift that around to I'm living and it's okay. So even someone who's going through a severe medical situation, there may be that part of their cells are dying, but more of their cells are living. And those living cells, that living biology, can surpass the dying cells and can help regenerate the human body, the human being, see? So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. And I'm trusting that the right people are hearing this message in the right way. And if you think that someone out there is the right person to hear this message, then please, please, please share this with them. Share this video, share my Facebook page, find me on YouTube, Dr. Darya Ghafourpour, the Gentle Dentist, and send people my way, because my intention is to continue sending out positivity and positive ripples like this. because I think that it's really, really necessary, and I'm happy to do it. And do you know what? You might have heard me say this before, but even if I've had a super duper long week, and even if I feel physically tired, every single time I do these Friday Night Lives, I feel uplifted. I feel better. I feel like I could keep going on through the night. I feel energized, and part of that is you being there and watching me and being a support too. And it's like that cycle of, you know, feeding positivity. And so that's my mission. So help me do that. And I love that you're here. And leave a comment below this video. And like I said, share, send people over to my page for more of this. I'm Dr. Darya Ghafourpour, the gentle dentist, and you know what? I'm not talking about dentistry every Friday night. Julissa, I completely relate to a lot of the stuff you talk about. You inspire me in so many ways. Thanks for that. And all the positivity. You're welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. I love that you're here. Julissa's awesome. She was one of those smiling faces that would be there at the dental school clinic. And I always know that she was just right on. And she like works really hard and puts her mind to it and her heart in it. And you feel that, and you know that your patients feel that too. And so whether you're in the healthcare profession or any kind of service field, or just another person walking down the street, you can send that frequency out to other people and they can feel it. And just watch what ripple effect happens there. So I'm so glad, Julissa. Thank you for sharing that. And it makes me feel good. And thanks for being here too. So you help drive me as well. And maybe we can talk again before Sunday, because you know I'm going to have to have some more ideas for what to do on my Sunday video directed towards dentists. Oh yeah, I could tell you that too. If you're a dentist or in the dental field, join me on Sunday afternoons Pacific time, generally around 2-ish, 3-ish, something like that. Yeah, I'm not hard and fast on that one, but so far I've been doing that for the last, I think I've done 4 or 5 of those, so I think I'm going to continue doing that, and then I'll get to talk about more specific office-oriented, dental office-oriented things. But Friday night is for inspiration in general, so that's what Friday Night Live is all about, and thanks for being here again. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll talk to you another time. Bye.